blind are my eyes. Girl, do you remember me? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys had a great week and that your weekend has started well. As always, I can see you guys in the live chat room, so hello to everyone in there. Let's give you guys a shout out very quickly. We have Ruth Ann, Billy, Coralia, Ninja Kitty, Teresa, Alison, Angela, Daisy, Pink Thistle, and Sue's going through that as well, and Kevin, and Bernadine, and Diamond Girl 1234, and now it's going through too quickly. So yeah, thank you for joining me tonight, and I'm going to skip this advert as it tries to intrude immediately into the live stream. And just for reference with the adverts, I think they are entirely random for everybody watching. They don't all happen at the same time. So when some people say, oh, I've just got an advert, there's nothing for me to click on screen to avoid some people getting adverts. I think they just automatically happen at different times. But I think in the last, I don't know how many live streams, I haven't allowed an advert through. So those ones that get through, there's just YouTube being annoying. So anyway, let's get into tonight's live stream. The reason that this is happening and all of the videos can even happen on my channel, they are made possible by the people at the bottom of the screen, my patrons. So thank you guys over on patreon.com for getting involved and supporting what I do. And as I always say, they're the foundation of everything that I do. So big shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen, and we will get on screen as well. The likes goal will start early tonight, getting that on screen, because we are aiming for 340 likes, and if we hit that target, I believe we're now on Phil Jam number 286, not 285. So that is now official. We are racing towards that target. Hopefully, if we can hit that target, we will bust out the guitar and have a jam. And thank you to you guys for the messages about the last live stream where I was answering different questions about, guitar playing and all that kind of stuff. We busted out the guitar for quite a long time and people seemed to enjoy that. So yeah, thank you for the positive comments on that and the messages as well. And tonight's live stream really will just be me reporting on stuff that's happened, but really not having a blueprint for what I'm going to be doing or talking about. So we'll see where the live stream takes us. We are going to be having a look at the requested cover video, and whichever one wins out between You Give Love a Bad Name and the other one, which I can't see, but whichever one's in the lead, I see You Give Love a Bad Name, but the other one might be Behind Blue Eyes. And just testing my memory there. So yeah, I think that's the other one. It's quite close, 53% or 54%. It's just changed to, and that's my collaboration cover with Cena, the drummer on YouTube. So right, I can see that Ro has said, what is your shirt tonight? and people might be able to guess if you are a fan of this particular movie. I think big fans might be able to tell what I was going to say what the movie is, but if you've seen me wear this on a video before, you'll know exactly which shirt it is. So I'll leave it up to the live chat room to see what I'm wearing, and we'll have the big reveal later on, which is just me. Oh, there we go. Karen's got it straight away. So you can see the C of Rocky. So it's not really a big reveal, but there it is. Even though that looks like Oki, there is an R on the other side. But it is very big font, so it takes up most of my shirt. And it's now more covered up than it was, so it's even more difficult to guess for people that aren't in the live stream at the beginning. Right, so, the last thing to get up on screen is the donations tab. We do have the likeometer that isn't there yet as well. And we are at 207 likes so far. So thank you guys. Hit the thumbs up. If you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And it means that we're looking for another 130 people before the end of the live stream. But I think it is a solid start with the likeometer for tonight's live stream. And let me get the donations tab up on screen, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. But there are people that can't resist donating, and for them, I think it's important they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But you don't have to donate for anything on the channel. So, filling you in on what's happened, there was extreme drama today, because my website, my actual website, I got a few messages over on Patreon, people saying, we're trying to get on your website and it says that it's not there anymore. Or maybe that a subscription has I don't know what's happened. It's been cancelled or something. So I went to check on my website, and at Bandzoogle, which is the kind of hosting site that I use, it says next to my account will not be renewed. And I thought, well, that's weird, because my Authentic Vocal website is still live and that's being renewed. So looking through my history of charging, I pay for it monthly. So since the beginning of the website, it's charged every month and has never failed, and it's never said that it's not going to be renewed. And all of the details are exactly the same for the Authentic Vocal website, and that all went through fine. But for some reason, Bandzoogle had a bit of a, bit of an issue with exactly the same payment method it's been using for the last however many years. So I was typing to somebody in the help, like the live chat, and it was an actual human, which is great. And I said, yeah, I need to sort this out quite quickly, because my website that I do everything through, and by the way, all of my emails come through to phil@wingsofpegasus.com. So that's the website that I use, and all of the requests come through to that website as well. So I said, yes, it's not particularly good being out of action, because people will be emailing because it's quite busy. So the person said, oh yeah, I can see that your payment has failed. So you'll have to go in and change the payment information, and then I don't know what else he said, but while he was saying that, I went over I clicked on the link that he gave me to go to the account settings to change what I needed to do. And then when I went back to look at the help, it had disappeared. So I didn't have the steps to go through. So I thought, oh, well, that's great. And then when I went to click on the live chat again, it was now grayed out, which meant that it wasn't working anymore. And I thought, well, maybe it's just the browser. So then I tried another browser. It was still grayed out. Tried it on my phone. It was grayed out. And guess what had happened? My complaint that I was typing and talking with this person, I must have started about 5 to what would have been 10 here, because this was all kicking off, as always is the case, an hour before the live stream. So about 5 to, I was typing to him, he told me, what to do. And then with our time zones, they must have then not been live to help anymore at 10 o'clock my time, even though it was 5 p.m. their time. That's when they stopped. So it meant that I could now no longer get to that message because it had disappeared, because they're not doing live chat anymore. Anyway, long story short, I did eventually manage to figure it out by changing the payment to exactly the same payment again and re-choosing the monthly subscription. And so it's doing everything that it was doing. And then it said, oh, yeah, actually, I did it. And everything had disappeared. Like the website wasn't there anymore, and it had the options of the plans. So I thought, well, this isn't particularly positive. And about 3 or 4 minutes later, I then clicked on my edit page, which is just a shortcut to update the website. And that worked, and I got through to the website, and I thought, and I checked the emails, and I managed to get through to that. So it took probably between 3 and 5 minutes to update itself. So maybe the site just disappeared for a few minutes, which obviously I panicked, and then it came back, and I now have access to it, and it's all working again. So, I think that's probably the most dramatic thing that can happen, is your actual website doesn't exist anymore. Especially, it seems that's the one that everyone has the email address for, even contacts who I've worked with in the past, and like recent projects that I've worked on and am working on, that anything that they were to send me, I then wouldn't have access to. So that would be a bit of a nightmare. But thankfully, it's all working. Fingers crossed that continues, and that when they try to do the billing again, it goes through as it has done for however many years, probably about 15 years without a problem. So right, that is the drama for today, just sorted. The other thing is that I'm supposed to mention tonight, for those people interested in getting your hands on any Wings of Pegasus merch, such as the mugs and t-shirts and everything else that's going on, there's a tray underneath this video, and you can click on any item there, because at the Dashery store, it's the Black Friday deal that goes on for this weekend. So I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then by Monday it's over. So make sure that if you do want to get any merch, if you want to get a t-shirt, if you want to get, there's loads of stuff over there, like a bag as well, then you can do, and it'll be for a reduced price, just for, tonight or today if it's earlier in your daytime, because I'm almost into Sunday here in the UK, because it's 18 minutes past 11 in the evening. But if you want to check it out tonight or tomorrow, then you've got time to do that for a reduced fee. So make sure that you make the most of that if you're interested in any of the merch. The other thing that I will be doing definitely on the store for Wings of Pegasus is adding the merch for Authentic Vocal. But I'll be doing this in the future when I can start to put a little bit more time, concentrate a little bit more on Authentic Vocal, because this month, and I was going to say this month's almost run out. We're almost in December. So next month as well, it might just have to be a Christmas release video type thing. I'm going to be releasing the video of the vocal coaches that have recorded authentic vocal performances for me and the channel to really celebrate the human voice. So I will be putting that video together relatively soon, and I'll aim for before Christmas, even though it was supposed to be maybe last month, but then I've been waiting for particular videos to come through. So that's all going to be part of Authentic Vocal, so I'll upload it there to that particular channel first. So make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube, and that's at Official Authentic Vocal. Subscribe over there so you'll see that video first, and you'll see all of the vocal coaches who are very well known on YouTube just singing naturally, which will be great. Right, so now I'm going to have to keep an eye on, literally, I was going to say the date, not even the time. Keep an eye on the date so that I can get everything released and pushed out. But back to the merchandise, the Authentic Vocal logo is a registered trademark, but that will be available on probably the same things or the similar kind of things that I have the Wings of Pegasus, merchandise, but maybe mugs, and I think hoodies are quite good because I can then have the registered trademark on hoodies and people can be walking around, obviously showing that they do support authentic vocals and true voices, authentic vocal performances. And I'm thinking that I might have to update the website to now include AI, to say that everything that has the authentic vocal logo on is not AI either, because there's so many AI things coming out that I think people just want a place to check out truly live and authentic performances, and that's what authentic vocal is and will be certainly next year. But I really need to get into that next year. 2026 I think will be the year for authentic vocal, and just for spreading the word about it and getting it out there a bit more. So right, I can see that there has been a donation in the super chat window, so thank you for this, Paul. The message, and it's a $5 donation. The message is, catch up crew for me tonight. Everyone have fun tonight and please spike the likes. Peace, love and rock, I think that's supposed to say, but it has been written as a P-race. But yeah, thank you for that, Paul. And there have been donations over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for these. And let me make sure that I don't miss any here. It was Bryony who donated £5. So thank you for that. And that's a straight up donation. And then Andrews donated £10. So thank you for that, Andrew. Let me skip through. Oh, this is me taking... Well, it's taking me through me having just set up the website all over again and saying, oh, you've agreed to pay this amount of money every month. It's Debbie who's donated £10. Thank you for this, Debbie. And the message is, hi, Phil. Just couldn't resist donating. I really enjoyed Tuesday's Phil Jam and the short on the trolls deleting their own troll comments. Hilarious. Keep up the good work. You're awesome, Debbie. So thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, that was a video that I don't normally do about bringing attention to one particular comment. And I think doing that, when somebody on my channel, if somebody's making multiple false statements, then because I don't delete comments, and this is another thing, one of the trolls on my channel, when you click on their channel, it gives you their content, but they never have any content. It says this channel contains no videos, which isn't a surprise because that's what troll accounts are all about. They don't actually create anything themselves. They just have a go at other people who are creating stuff and kind of jump on their channels. But anyway, this particular person had at the bottom of the screen, it will tell me if they've commented on my channel. And this person, it said 100 plus comments on your channel. So I don't know how many comments they've done on my channel, but it's definitely over 100. I don't know whether they say if it's going to be over 200 or 300 or whether the next one's over 1,000. But that is the very proof of me not deleting their messages or comments, because they've got over 100 of them on my channel, which is absolutely crazy that they've spent that much time writing comments on a channel that they don't like or that they think is and this is just something that I will say, when somebody's making multiple false statements about my channel, then I will address those, and it's my prerogative to do that, to reply to somebody who's commented on my channel. They really don't understand. And I know that a particular person involved doesn't understand that they're on my channel. So I can make any videos that I want to. I can draw attention to any comment that is making false statements. I can do that. And with their particular comments, multiple false statements, and there's never any proof, especially when what they're saying is so basic. And when somebody says, I'm going to call out your BS, is what they wrote to me. I'm going to call out your BS whenever I see it. So it's not going to stop me. That was generally the kind of idea. And I don't have a problem with people writing comments, but when you're making false claims or false accusations and saying that I, for example, make apology videos, and then the person said that I don't. First of all, they said I make apology videos, and I said in my video I've never made an apology video. And if there were apology videos, they could use that and link to it and say, well, there's the proof of what I'm saying. But they can't even put a link to one video that they're saying exists. So then they said, oh yeah, but no, you don't do it in a video, you do it in a shorts video so that not many people see the apologies. So again, put in a link to one of these shorts apology videos that you're claiming exist. The reason they don't do that is because they don't exist. And guess what? All of my shorts videos have been shorter parts of my main videos. So they always link to the main video. So you'd be able to go back to that anyway. So it's just crazy that they make an absolutely basic accusation that is so easy to prove if they're telling the truth. They could say, go here to see that what I'm saying is the truth. But they never do that. And in all of the replies, and I've seen you guys in the comments section also maybe replying to some trolls, that some people just say, prove it. Supply proof of what you're saying, that everything that I'm doing on my channel is BS, apparently. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any way that I can have a channel like I do and have featured the high profile artists that I have on my channel by doing something that isn't absolutely true and objective and cross-referenceable. And this is the other thing, that they can't be bothered to cross-reference my videos because they can download that use the same vocal pitch monitor over on Vocalaise if they want to. They can use Moises.ai to isolate vocals. They can get the same results. So it can't be more basic than that to prove what I'm saying is true and to prove that the data is true. So yeah, calling it BS, but they've not actually bothered to cross-reference it to see, oh no, it is exactly the same as what he's looking at on his screen, I'm now looking at on my screen. So yeah, it's all very crazy, but I guess that's it. I don't know, but people can comment what they like, and this is the other thing, that the person did say that I delete comments, whereas there's absolute proof that the comment has been there, but then on the multiple times that they've commented, they then remove, and this was the absolute killer, is they remove their own comments to try and pretend that I'm removing them. But yeah, I've seen all of your replies to the particular person. The other thing is, the people that have been referencing the particular account, that account would not be able to, oh look, we've had a bit of a like spike. We're up to 833 viewers. So hello everybody, and 955 likes. So yeah, that's very crazy. But yeah, getting back to it, that particular person who apparently I removed their comments, they are still replying actively in my comment section. So, the problem is that they don't realise that by commenting more, they're getting more attention. So they're going to get more people saying, why don't you prove what you're saying? And then not supplying proof. So then more people will say, well, why don't you prove what you're saying? And it's just going to be an endless thing that unfortunately, the more the trolls message and comment, making statements that they can't back up, the more problems they're going to run into. So I think that's just what's happening in the comment section. It'll probably help them if their comments were removed, or if I blocked their YouTube channel or whatever, because it means that they wouldn't get all of these messages of people tagging them. But I don't know, if you are going to make the decision to comment on somebody's channel about their content and say that it's BS, then you've got to be able to prove why that is the case. You can't just say that, because that's just an opinion. Whereas everything on my channel is not an opinion, it's objective fact. So yeah, anyway, yes, we seem to have, and by the way, if you are, we tried this last time, if you are watching the channel and maybe this is your first live stream, then say first in the live chat room. Yeah, it doesn't even have to mean capital letters or anything. Or maybe, what else could people type in order to try and find out where all of these people are coming from? Potentially 848 people. Normally we have, 300? Something like that. So if this is your first live stream, or maybe it's not a normal thing that you tune into, then you can type that in the live chat room. And we have Heidi, who says first. I did. Diamond Girl 1234 said I'm new and from. So at Pegasus 1967 said first as well. So hello to you. And a few people saying hello, and Barney says first as well. So there must be some. I'm going to skip this advert. Daviana is first as well. So it does seem like we're getting a few more people tuning in. Kevin as well. Curtis. Hello to new viewers. Thank you for jumping into the live stream. I did actually get a message earlier on my phone saying something like, your shorts is getting a lot of attention. And one of my shorts, I don't know which one it is, because it just showed me the beginning of the title, but it wasn't enough for me to know exactly what it was. So yeah, but apparently that particular shorts video, whatever it was, had just gone over 500,000 views. So maybe it's just something that has happened recently before the live stream, and that did pop up before the live stream, so maybe YouTube is pushing the live stream out there a little bit more. But yeah, 974 likes. That means we are going to be having a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream, busting out the guitar, and yeah, seeing what happens with Phil Jam number 286. So that will be happening. And the recent video that I released on the channel was the Danny Sapko pitch. It was the pitch data that he didn't actually send me the pitch data. He sent me 3 vocal performances, and he wanted me to look at the pitch data and to say whether any tuning had been used in any of those performances. So yeah, that's what I did, and it was a little bit different to what I normally do, but I thought, well, it is interesting to see if somebody whose voice I didn't know and couldn't really get any data on, if I can just look at the pitch data and determine what might be pitch corrected, what might be uncorrected, all these different things. So it turns out with Danny's response video that he did, that I was, and Danny quite kindly said that I was 100% correct, which I think is, it's quite a good place to be, especially, I mean, that probably backs up why the videos still remain on YouTube, and the high-profile artists that I have run through the pitch monitoring software and pointed out exactly what's going on with their performances. So yeah, but I do say in those cases that the producers and the people involved, the particular shows, and even people that are mixing the shows on the night, and they know what happened on the night, and then they know what they're seeing on YouTube, that isn't the same audio potentially, but even the sound guys who know that they're mixing in a backing track and a backing track lead vocal, they know exactly what I'm saying. It is 100% correct, and that's why the videos stay up. But it was interesting to do that. And the other thing that Danny has done that I've seen on other videos that pop up, and I think because of what I've done with Danny in the past, I'm now getting a few other videos that popped up, and he was on the Justin Hawkins channel being interviewed, but I've seen him actually mention Wing to Pegasus on lots of different interviews that he's done. I say lots of, just a few videos that I've seen. So yeah, it's great that he's mentioning the channel name. Is very much appreciated, as I said in my video last night. But yeah, it's cool that the conclusion that I came to on his video was correct. And it's also cool as well to hear that he's not using any correction on his voice anymore, and that he's just singing the way that he can. And that's very much what I'm a fan of, and I do myself as an artist. It's just my preference. So it's great to see that kind of thing is now maybe being pushed out there a little bit more. And then for Authentic Vocal next year, hopefully we can start to spread the word about that, so that people will know that there is a place that you can go to find fully authentic vocal performances that aren't going to be lip synced, mimed, or post pitch corrected, and not going to be AI. So yeah, that's another thing that I have to add into the mix. But I think it'll be a great community over there and on the YouTube channel, but on Instagram as well. The Instagram channel is at authentic.vocal if you guys want to get ahead of the curve, because I think things are going to be pushed through a little bit more next year, 2026, for that. But you can be an early adopter and subscribe now, and that means that you will see the vocal coaches video that will be coming out next month. I've got to kind of piece all of that together. So Sue donated $19.99, so thank you for that. And the message is 1,000 likes, we can do this. So thank you for that. And yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because maybe we'll get to 1,000 likes. And I can't remember what happens if did we ever get to 1,000 likes? Have we ever got to 1,000 likes? I can't remember. Does it go to like 1k, or does it go to 1,000, like 1000? Because if it does, it might not even fit on the screen anymore. So we will have to keep an eye on it. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, it'll be very much appreciated. And yeah, this has happened before, that it just suddenly jumps up by a ridiculous amount. And I don't know exactly what that is. Whether it's a glitch or not, I do not know. And whether it's something where I know that on YouTube, there are a lot of people on YouTube at any one time. And if it suddenly tells a lot of your subscribers, over 500,000 subscribers, if it tells, a decent amount of subscribers that I might be live, here we go, over 1,000 likes. So it does go into the 1,000. I'm going to have to move this across now. I think this is the first time I've ever had to move the likeometer across because the number's been too big. Suzy Q said, yes, Phil, when it glitched before, we went over 1,300. So thanks for that information, because it did that before. But it's very difficult to know exactly what's going on, because theoretically, if a lot of people got told about the live stream and maybe 600 or 700 people wanted to check it out, and there's every chance that they have seen my videos before and they might click the thumbs up, then it might not be a glitch. It might be an actual thing that just a lot of people have joined in when they got the notification and hit the thumbs up. So either way, the great thing for us is that we are going to be busting out the guitar and having a Phil jam later on in the live stream. And I said at the beginning of this live stream, it is just going to be totally random. I don't have a plan for tonight's live stream other than the vote that's going on in the live chat room to see which particular cover video we're going to be taking a look at. And it's You Give Love a Bad Name at the moment. So, Pegasus 1967 said, I got the 1,000 like with a thumbs up, Wings of Pegasus. So thank you for that. I am going to be looking into the live chat room as well, just for maybe some topics to talk about. Last time, some people wanted to know different things about, guitar playing, hammer-ons, pull-offs, tapping. I think there's a little bit of fingerstyle in there, hybrid picking. What else blues scale, maybe bends. I can't remember, but we covered quite a lot of stuff. So. Yeah, if you've got any questions or anything, or something that you want to chat about in the live chat room, we talk about everything. We did a little bit on aliens and Skinwalker Ranch, last maybe week? I think it was a few live streams ago. But I will just quickly jump into the PayPal window, because there has been another donation in there. So thank you for this. It's Jacqueline, who has donated £1.45, and the message is, since you studied nutrition, any thoughts on the Ozempic craze and the health implications of using it for weight loss? So thank you for that. And I'm not entirely sure. I've seen this over the internet. And I'm not entirely sure of whether it's the same, whether that's a brand name, and whether it's the same as the weight loss. Is it like an injection people get here? I haven't really kept up to date with it because as a personal trainer, I always trained people to lose weight with diet and exercise. So not doing something to, inhibit, your what's the word that my brain will not come up with? Your my word is just throwing diet, but no, it's your appetite that it inhibits. So I never used to do anything like that, and it would just be putting people on a calorie controlled diet, or first of all figuring out how many calories they need a day, because once you've got that figured out, then it's just a case of checking the foods that you're eating and making sure that you're underneath that particular number. So that's going to be your basal metabolic rate, to get all fancy, use some words. But if you shorten it to BMR, you can type that into Google and find like a BMR calculator, for example, and you put in your weight and age, and some of them talk about activity level, but some of them won't. They'll just give you a basic figure. So then you know how many calories your body uses every day just to be a human. So all the things I'm doing now, all the movements I'm making, blinking, talking, breathing, these all take calories. So every day you will burn naturally a certain amount of calories. So once you've got that number, let's say for example it's 1,600 calories, then when you're on your diet, you can make sure that throughout a day, whatever you eat doesn't add up to 1,600. And the smaller the number's going to be, you don't want to go ridiculously small, because that's then going to be unhealthy. And this is what personal training is all about. It's about getting people to lose weight healthily by giving them the energy that they need in their diet to exercise in order to lose the weight that they want to lose. So yeah, just basically burning the most fat possible. But let's say, for example, that I know pretty much everyone who's tried to lose weight has gone on a treadmill, and it shows you how many calories you're burning. And you'll know that to burn 100 calories is quite a hardcore workout if you're not used to working out. It might be like a half an hour run or something like that. Then maybe 200 calories, you think, well, yeah, that's going to be like a couple of hours on a treadmill. So people think, well, how can I do that every day? It's not really feasible. But what can you do? Can you eat 1,400 calories instead of 1,600? Because that means that you've burnt 200 calories without even having to get on a treadmill. So that's the approach, to think that if you cut your calorie intake, your body's got to find those calories from somewhere, because it needs 1,600, but you've only given it 1,400, which means that you've burnt 200 calories from your body somewhere. So 200 calories of fat, which your body uses for all of these kind of slow movements and walking and talking and blinking. It's all it's not something that you've got to carb load in order to get these movements. So yeah, fat will be burnt, 200 calories of fat. So if you do that every day, then you think, well, yeah, if you're looking at a week's worth being 200 under what your body needs, that means that your body is, I'm just kind of trying to figure this out, 1,400 calories it's got to find from somewhere. So you think, well, if you can do that every week, like if you do that for 4 weeks, you're now looking at a ridiculous amount of calories that you're burning by not actually doing anything. But obviously with diet and exercise, the exercise means you're now burning even more calories. And if you start toning muscles burn more calories just to exist. And that's why bodybuilders eat 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 calories a day. Is because muscles are hungry. They need calories. So they will just, I was going to say that they were going to destroy calories. Like if you eat extra calories, your muscles will destroy those and say, have you got any more? So this is why you'll see some bodybuilders who are having like a tub of ice cream. I wouldn't advise that, because the saturated fat that you've got in a tub of ice cream, I know it's calories and that the body, and loads of sugar, and when they're working out, that's all going to be kind of used up in their high intensity training. But the saturated fat if you're eating a lot of that and the bodybuilder is still lean, that saturated fat is going somewhere, and it's a recipe for not success, but it's a recipe for disaster, quite truthfully, because it means that saturated fat is getting stored. It is going to get stored, but where is it getting stored? It's getting stored inside you somewhere, and that's not what you want, especially with high intensity training. If that's getting stored around your heart and in your arteries, then yeah, you're going to have real problems doing high intensity training and putting such demand on the heart, especially if you're bodybuilders that have to take substances in order to get to the size that they get to. Yeah, already that's putting a lot of stress on the heart. But then if you're eating saturated fat, and yeah, there's one, I can't remember the guy's name, but he died from a heart attack. And in his documentary, it shows him eating a tub of ice cream. But he's like a bodybuilder, so he's still lean. So yeah, my first thought is, you've just eaten, actually I think he had 2 tubs of ice cream that typically I would have, because I know exactly the size of this Haagen-Dazs ice cream that he was having. Typically, if I were to have one of those, I'd have maybe 1/5 of 1 tub. But he had 2 tubs. So you think, well, that is crazy having that amount, but not thinking about the saturated fat. And the crazy thing is, he even spoke to a doctor who said about, what he was doing, in order to keep him safe, because he was kind of, so big. And yeah, it's crazy that the doctor didn't say, well, what are you eating? Because that's a huge part of looking after yourself. But I think a lot of people see that, bodybuilders as being, I guess, really fit and really healthy, but that isn't the case at all, because you're putting such a demand on the heart. And I do liken it to someone who is obese, who's just got mass on their body. When you've got mass on your body, it means your heart has to work harder to now supply blood to this body that might be double the size that it's actually designed to supply blood for. So this is why there are such huge problems, and so many bodybuilders that have heart issues and heart attacks and actually die from heart disease. I think that's kind of the biggest killer anyway, but I think it's more related to obesity. And but it just goes to show for me that the bigger you get, regardless of whether you're a bodybuilder or you're obese, the bigger you get, the harder the heart has to work. And if you are big and you start working out, or you are working out high intensity, that's like I said, a bit of a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I've done that all in the past, and I'm all about diet and exercise. So if you really want to lose weight, work out your BMR and try to take in under that. You just have to be under that every day, and you will be burning calories, or you will be burning fat from somewhere on your body. And I'd say don't go, I know that people say, I'm having 500 calories a day. I think that you've got to be sensible with it. I would always say that having maybe 1,300, 1,200, you can still have a decent amount of food. When, if you're looking at things like, chicken and tuna and things that are high in protein, then you can eat a lot of food for 1,300, 1,400 calories, because what you're eating is something that's not going to get stored. Like, carbohydrates, for example, something that you're going to eat. If you don't use that energy, it's going to get stored. Whereas protein, if your body doesn't use the protein, it doesn't store it. So it means that those calories are just going to, disappear. So I know that it's important to balance and get a little bit of carbohydrates in there, but try to go for complex carbohydrates and, reduce the amount of sugar to stop the insulin spike from happening. That's what happens when you have things like, chocolate. But then again, chocolate isn't actually that bad. If you look at the calories, you can work it into your diet. And if you have it, for example, before your exercise, you're going to burn a lot of that sugar when you're exercising. So yeah, this is it. But that was a lifetime ago. So I am going to be jumping into quickly, just this PayPal window. Another one's popped in there, and yeah, we will be having it's just natural for me to look at the likeometer to see how close we are to the Phil Jam total, but we are definitely going to be having the Phil Jam a little bit later on, 10 to midnight here, so we will be moving on quickly. And Mitchell Marie has donated £2, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, is there a need for music theory at all? And how does the answer differ from the perspective of a guitar player versus a composer versus an arranger? Thanks and rock. So thank you for that. I mean, this is difficult. I think, obviously, for teaching, as I've done, I need to know music theory, and I wouldn't say that I'm really into music theory because of being an artist myself. How I like to play as an artist and how I like to create music is different. It's the opposite of learning theory. It's going with the sound, and very much like when you'll see in interviews with singer songwriters, and I remember Sting being interviewed, being asked about why he made this particular change to an augmented chord, for example, or diminished, I can't remember what it was, and Sting answered, he said, I didn't know what chord I was going to, I went for the sound. So it's not thinking about any theory of, this is going to be a clever change. It's just doing it how it sounds and going for a particular sound rather than a particular approach theoretically. And I think for the most part, when you think about the songs that connect with more people or most of the population, the huge hits, I think, have been written that way. The composer, the songwriter, is going with the sound of where they want to take that particular journey and that song. And it isn't something that they're working out like a mathematical equation thinking, that would be quite clever to do that at that point in the song. So yeah, it's very much the opposite of music theory is what I'm into, and hence the Phil Jams, kind of playing over just a random backing track and just seeing where the sound goes and then following where the sound goes, rather than needing to know what the chords are and knowing the journey before you're even going on it. I like to just go on the journey and just see where you end up, because it's a lot more interesting. But yeah, when I know there are composers and arrangers that now rely on the theory, and people, even musicians, who want to know something before you go there, to say, right, well, what's the chord progression going to be like before we play this? Because I need to know, because I need to know where to go on the fretboard and all that kind of stuff if we're talking about guitarists. But, I think it's something that maybe not a lot of people approach it the opposite way around, but I just enjoy doing it that way. And I think that you can do everything from the perspective of having no music theory knowledge at all, or theoretical knowledge at all. You can do it that way, because you're only ever dealing, sound is sound. You don't need to learn about what sound is called or what somebody has called a particular sound, because you'll know it as that sound. Like when I say about an augmented or diminished chord, if you know the sound, you'll be able to hear that, and you'll be able to replicate that sound. And obviously playing an instrument, I think you can't help but know a bit of theory, because you know what the chords are. You'll know that there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You'll know that those are the chords, because that's when you're first starting to learn the guitar. You'll be playing these shapes, and I think everyone starts either looking at a chord book or stuff on YouTube now. But I can remember having a book that was really bad, but it showed you the chords at least. Some of them would show you to play the chords with like the wrong fingers, so it was almost impossible to, because it was a drawing. They hadn't worked out that actually that for most people that's going to be physically impossible, because your hand isn't I was going to say the size of that alien thing that jumps out on your face, but having fingers that size, looking at some of the really weird chords that are in these chord books that, for me, certainly reading were not possible to play at all. But I know that it was written probably in about 1970 or something, maybe even 1960. But yeah, I think you can do everything without needing really to know the theory. You'll need to know the basic chords, but then getting deep into theory, I don't think you need to if you're focusing on the sound. So just know the sound first, and you'll be able to hear that it's a diminished chord. So then when you're working out a song, you can already hear what the chords are, rather than going through a process of elimination that will take ages. But anyway, there has been a few donations in the super chat window, so I will jump into these. And Karen's donated $10. Thank you for that in the message. Oh, we already got through that. Oh, no, we didn't. It says, greetings from beautiful Sacramento, California. Phil, yes, Ozempic is one of the injection weight loss brands. I just read that after stopping shots. Benefits go away. So thank you for that. The other thing is that if you've got a goal weight, the great thing is that you can lose weight so much faster than you put on weight. Because you think, well, yeah, the really annoying thing would be if you could put on weight in like a month and then it takes 3 years to get rid of it. But you can put on weight over 3 years and you can lose that weight in a month. So, I mean, unless you've gone really, really crazy, but even still, it can be a matter of months where you can lose serious weight and get down to your goal weight. And then once you're there, you decide what you want to do. Do you want to keep hitting your calorie intake? Do you want to have a few days where you don't do it and you just go over it and eat a few of the foods that you want to? And you'll find that if you keep up the exercise, you can eat over your BMR, and you can enjoy all the foods that you want to enjoy because you're exercising, meaning that you're burning calories as well, and you might be more toned, so it means muscles are going to be doing the work for you. But anyway, thank you Elaine as well, who's donated $5. The message is, question: who are you pointing to in the audience during the Greed performance? PN123 and I are nosy. So thank you for that. And I'm not sure, but it was something like, it might have been an ex-student who was in the crowd there. So I noticed them because they were there, and I pointed at them because I recognised them. So a bit of a silly thing to be doing whilst performing, doing that. But I tend to remember the people that I have taught, and this is when I was teaching during the day, and also going to people's houses, travelling around and teaching them at their houses as well. So it just happened to be that I think that was it, because I then spoke to them afterwards. So I think there's that connection that I used to teach them guitar. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for that, Elaine. And we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, which is going to be the collaboration with Cena. And it's going to be You Give Love a Bad Name. So thank you guys for voting for this particular cover video for tonight. And we will jump into it. And we're not going to have a picture corner tonight. So let me just check the length of the Fill Jam. It's going to be 5 minutes and 34 seconds, which means we might have time for something other than the Fill Jam after this particular cover video. So we'll have a look at this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. Darling, you give love a bad name.
And there we have it. That was myself and Cena with our version of You Give Love a Bad Name, the Bon Jovi classic. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Right, let's see what we can maybe put into this part of the live stream. We don't have a plan. We're just going to be going for whatever happens. It's either going to be a fill tune, maybe a riff of the week, but I haven't even set that up, so that would be maybe a little bit difficult. The problem with the riff of the week is that we have very few left to choose from, and it is like a bit of a lottery really for people choosing the particular numbers of the riffs. So maybe it's gonna be, I tell you what, I'm gonna have to try and find the list. Let me see if I can do this over on email. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to find the number of riffs that we've had. I might not be able to find it. So my internet, or should I say my Outlook, the search function is rubbish and really annoying to have to try and search through, but I will try and find and see what's going on. So yeah, I won't be able to find the list. So never mind for that. I don't know whether I can go and look over on Facebook. I'm not sure. Let me have a little scroll up and see if I can find. I'm having to go massively back in time here to try and find which numbers of, because we haven't had a riff of the week in ages. And let me scroll up and scroll up. I'm waiting to see any numbers. And still, here we go. I found a message that, hang on, it's just disappeared. Okay, we found the message again. So let's attempt to have a riff of the week. And I'm now going to be looking for numbers between 1 and 100. So if you guys can type that in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated. And I will pick out a number at random. Let me click on my channel because I'm going to have to search for whichever one we do hit. Now I have the numbers in front of me. And the first number I see is Carol, who says 30, which we've already had. And Ruth Ann says 93. Ruth Ann has won the Riff of the Week lottery for today's live stream, because 93 we haven't had yet. And how many have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 left, including number 93. So let's search for Riff of the Week 93 and see what we can do here. Let me click on that. I'm going to pause that, and right, I now need to do the screen capture so you guys can see it as well. And as for where it's going to show up on screen, I do not know, but let me click on this. And let's get a background as well. Make it look a little bit more professional, but it's off to the side again. Let me see if I can drag this across. I have to try and find the layer that is to do with this screen grab. Here we go. Right, put this over here. Right, so what I'm looking for, by the way, is the name of the song that this riff comes from. So let's have a listen to it and have a look into the live chat room to see who gets it correct. But whoever gets it first on my screen is going to be the winner of nothing in particular other than being the first to get it. So let's have a listen, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this, and hopefully I'll be able to hear this. And there we have it. So, now I believe, like, Barbara says cake, short skirt, long jacket. So I think that might be, let me see, I'm going to just scroll up to see if anything came in before Barbara on my screen. And no, Barbara is the first person to guess that correctly. And it wasn't really a guess, but let's go up and go down a little bit. I'm trying to see any other ones underneath. Cindy says short skirt, long jacket. Susie Q said short skirt. Scrolling down. So yeah, we've got a few people in there. Mega502 says short skirt, long jacket. Scrolling down. TG Sunflower 79 says short skirt. So congratulations to Barbara, who was the first one to guess that correctly on my screen. And this is the thing that on your screen, it might look like there's a comment above Barbara's that got it right, but it's all about when the comment gets to me. That's how I judge it. But that was the riff of the week for tonight, which means that, next time we're going to take ages to try and find a riff that we haven't done yet. So, right, we're going to have to jump into, let me turn that down a little bit, jump into tonight's Phil Jam. And I'm going to click on that over there. Maybe I clicked on it a bit earlier. I wonder if this is... I'm getting so many... Oh no, this is like waves. But I'm getting so many adverts now for AI and, special deals that are happening on AI and Suno. And that Suno court case with Warner Brothers, which has gone the same way as the other court case with Udio or Udio, however you want to say it. Yeah, it's interesting to see how all of that AI stuff is playing out. But it's playing out pretty much how I've been saying that the people's music that you're using to train the AI, they've got to be compensated for that because it's their talent that's creating the product in the end. Right, anyway, this is on. Hopefully you can hear this. Mic is on. Zoom out with that. Mute this because it's an advert. This is rock/fusion backing track in A minor, just AM as it's written, BT 181. So, it's already playing. So let me take it back to the beginning. This, from N and M Creation. Took me a while to see the YouTube channel, but that's N and M Creation on YouTube. Oh, here we go. Can you hear this? I can't really hear my guitar, but it doesn't matter. What an ending!
Let's wrap my sister's Christmas gift together.
Oh, and then an advert for wrapping something up. Right, there we have it. That was a rock/fusion backing track in A minor, BT 181 from N and M Creation. Now, the problem with that particular... Well, no, it wasn't the problem with the backing track. The problem with my guitar is that if I'm trying to do any kind of tapping, I'm playing a Fender Strat. So this is probably one for the gem, because the sustain on this just dies straight away. So even doing hammer-ons and pull-offs is... yeah, just you do your hammer on, you pull off, and you tap, and then it all just disappears. But never mind, that was the Phil Jam for tonight. And yeah, there's a lot of muscle memory going on there, just repeating patterns and all that kind of stuff. But that's what always tends to happen. 100... it was backing track number 181. But when you're talking about having... backing tracks that are in the 100s, beats per minute, and really going for it, it tends to be the case that you just have to kind of match it, with with I don't really do too much alternate picking, but that, all that kind of stuff, which I was demonstrating in the last live stream. But that is it for tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in, hitting the thumbs up, ensuring that we have a Phil Jam for tonight. I'm going to be here with another Phil Jam hopefully on Tuesday night. If you guys can tune in then and hit the thumbs up, then we'll be able to hit the target hopefully and have another jam then. But I will be just live streaming anyway. That's where I will be, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Tuesday. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that. And that's 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's when I release the videos on a Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!